Hi everybody! So today I'm going to be doing kind of a prom party, nice dinner look and everything. So I'm going to get started. I already moisturized and I used some concealer, BB cream, and foundation on my face, so I'm not going to show you all that. I didn't do powder yet because I'm going to do something a little different with powder, which I'm going to show you. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this baby powder, and yeah, I'm just going to use baby powder because it's nice and light. I'm just going to dump some of that out on the little table I have right here. And using my fluffy brush, I'm just going to put that in the center of my face just to highlight the center. Okay, so I did that, applied that with that. I'm going to smooth some of the edges out with the little brush. Done with that. Now so I'm just going to take my regular translucent powder with my brush again. And I'm going to apply that to the sides of my face just like normal. And it is a little bit darker than the baby powder. Next thing now, I'm going to take this little brush, which isn't the best. I'm kidding, I ordered a whole new set of brushes. I cannot wait to get them. But this one here and this little, it's another one of those little things from one of those Christmas palettes. But anyway, I have a really dark, a white, a brownish color that I'm running out of, and this brown here. I'm going to take that lightest brown there and just get a little bit of that on there. Find your cheekbone here, or pull a fish face. When you apply contour to the side, don't do it here, do it here. If you do it here, you're going to look like you have a beard. Which isn't really what I think it's really the effect most people are going for. It does look here like it's a little bit lighter than my chest, or darker, I mean. It does look here like it's a little bit darker than my chest. It's not. It doesn't appear that way in real life. So I don't know what's going on with the angling or the lighting, but try to ignore that because it doesn't look like that. Okay, next thing's next. I'm going to move right on to eyes, and I'm going to use the same primer as before. Product list will all be in the description box. Now, it may be tempting to try and use a cream base for this to get like a really pretty shimmer or whatever, but if you want it to last for, I don't know, anywhere, 5-6 hours, 4 hours even, if you want it to last longer than like an hour and a half, don't use a really creamy base because it's not going to last. I'm going to use Smoky Shadow Blast by CoverGirl. I'm just going to apply that to the lid. I'm going to blend it with my finger, and if you are like me and have lower eyebrows, there's not a lot of space there, then blend out. Everything's going to go out. Next thing's next. I'm going to take again my e.l.f. palette, which is the Ultimate Eyeshadow Palette. And I did mention this last time. This is the Ultimate Eyeshadow Palette in Brights. There's also the Ultimate Eyeshadow Palette in Natural, and their new Spring Palette, which I just got, which is some marble eyeshadows, which I've never used before. So I'm hoping I'll get some fun out of the Spring Palette. And the colors. What am I going to use? I'm figuring this out as I go along. Wearing approximately the same color as my dress. Now, I don't want to use a blue because I'm wearing a blue dress. Don't want to use a blue. Not that excited about using gold. It's not very exciting. Pinks obviously are a no, so I think I'm going to be kind of going with kind of greens or purples. If you wear purple dress, blue is nice. If you wear blue dress, purple is nice. So I'm going to use purple. So I'm going to use purples and blacks. So I'm going to begin with a very dark, where's my really dark, there's the dark one. I'm going to use this dark purple. It's not super dark, but it's a very nice purple, and over the black it's going to look a bit darker. I'm going to try not to go out of frame for you here. Okay, next thing's next. I'm going to take a black. I'm going to use the same brush again and wipe it off. And I'm going to use the same sparkly black that I used in the Katniss Everdeen tutorial, which is this one right here. It's sparkly and pretty. I like this color. Okay. I'm just going to take that. I'm going to take it mostly on the end of the brush and start applying it in a C shape. More of a V, I guess. Do a C shape if you have higher brows. If you have lower brows like me, do it in a V shape. When you wing it, and you can see I made a big mess here, but I'll clean that up later. When you wing it, try and wing it up. Winging it out, well, it kind of depends on what you're looking for, but winging it up gives a very elegant look, I find. Okay, I'm going to use an angled fluff brush, and this is what I'm going to use to blend all of this together. Blending it here. I like the angle because then I can change it like that or like that. Blend. Taking the same brush, I'm going to take the darker black, which I won't show you, it's just a plain matte black. It's very, very pretty. Taking it just on the end of the brush, and I'm going to do this here. Which is, I'm going to take that very, very dark black again. I'm just going to put it right here, which is right where my brow bone is. I'm going to take it right there and define that just a little bit more. This is one of the reasons why I rarely will do a wing like this with an actual black. Because then I can't define it any. Now using the same, I'm going to use the same purple row here. I'm going to take this, the lightest purple color. Just the lightest on that little row. And put it just a dab. Like I have quite a bit on the brush, but I'm just going to put a dab there. And there. And this is just the center of the lid. Like that. I'm then going to take my angled fluff brush again. And just, I'm going to put it backwards. And very lightly blend. I don't want it spreading that much. I just want to kind of blend the edges so it's not harsh. So then you get this kind of built-in shimmer. I'm going to take the same color and put it here. Alright, I'm going to take the same little fluffy brush just because it's handy, and I'm going to use the white in this palette. It's just a matte white, so I'm not going to show it to you. And I'm going to use this here. Begin with a thin line, because you want a thin line in the beginning part there. And get thicker as you go. Okay, next I'm going to use the gel liner that is from the Maybelline Eye Studio line. And a lot of people are a little bit scared to tight line, which is to put liner on that line, not the bottom line. Plenty of people are afraid to do that. No need. What I like to do, because it's a little scary doing it, what I like to do is I'll put the brush right there, close my eyes, and just run the brush between the lids there. And I'm just gonna bring this point. Okay, once you've got that done, I'm going to take the same gel liner, the same little brush, and I'm going to go over the bottom line that you did with the liquid liner. I'm just going to take a little Q-tip and I'm just going to smudge, gently smudge, because you don't want to remove it, you just want to smudge it. I'm going to use fake lashes now. These are just by Revlon. Okay, so I got the lashes on. Okay, next thing's next. You got the all the lash stuff and all the eye done. Time to move on to the brow. So I'm just going to use this little palette by Lancome. And the color is in Contour Intense. Okay. Well, it works for me. So I'm going to take a flat brush, and this is a paintbrush, but ignore that. Get some of that and apply it to my brows. Alright, next thing's next. Lips. Okay, I'm really heavy on the eyes. I do want to do something darker on the lips, but I don't want it to be super dark on the lips, and especially because I'm going to be eating dinner, so I want it to be something that is not going to be too complicated, that I can just go to the bathroom after dinner, fix it up a little bit, and go and be ready to dance. So therefore, I'm just going to use a little bit of a lip stain as opposed to doing something really dark. And I'm going to use two different colors. This quite sheer purple lipstick from LA Colors. This Frozen Berries is the color. This is slightly frosted, which makes sense from the name. And I'm just going to kind of dab this on lightly. Like that. Now normally I'd use some shaping tricks using some kind of little lip liner or something. A nude lip liner. I do some shaping tricks to try and make my lips look more full. I'm not going to do that because I'm going to be eating anyway, so I'm not going to bother with doing something like that. Next I'm going to take, this is from the new Whisper collection by Maybelline. This is in Pink Possibilities. And it looks super, super bright pink. It's not quite that bright when it goes on. Then I'm going to put this all over. Okay, for blush, also to help add to the This Is Not a Scary look, I'm going to use a really, really pink blush. Okay, so I'm going to use a little bit of this. This is just from little Christmas pack thingy. And it's just this pretty pink blush. Up and out. It's all gonna go back there. I like to do something a little weird, which is I like to apply it a little extra heavy. Like, some people do this as a mistake, and then this is a way to fix the mistake as well if you put on too much blush. But I like to put it on extra heavy and then put a translucent powder over it. And the reason I like to do that is just, for me, I feel like that looks a little bit more natural, more like the blush is coming from you and not been put on your face if you have a layer of skin color, or in my case translucent powder, going over it. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this kind of prom party, dinner, fancy dramatic look, and I don't know what I'm going to be doing with my hair for the party, so I just took it down. But please subscribe, give me a thumbs up, check out my Facebook page, I Real You Makeup on Facebook, and give me a like. And I'll post pictures there of this look, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. Bye guys.